It's people that's counting on me. I cannot eat from the tree. I'm Adam to Z. Z is my Eve. Watch how we getting it. Watch how we flipping it. Watch how we living it. Watch how we winning it. Watch, yeah. Watch, yeah. Watch, yeah. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Forever Love Podcast. My name is Artis.
And I'm Zadoria.
And we are the Andersons. And we got a special guest today, our brother, our family member, Brother Anthony Lynch. How you doing today, sir?
Man, I'm doing pretty good, man. No complaints, not yet. Not yet.
That's good. Now, listen, y'all, we got a great episode for you today. The episode is called Lies Women Tell. And this is a microcosm of Anthony Lynch's new book. So we can't wait to dive into it. And it's like a fresh off the press, too. Like that was so old school what I said. Fresh off the press. Wow.
Here we go.
I should edit that part out. But listen, the book literally just came out. Listen, we're going to talk about it. But before we get into this major conversation, let's do our check-ins. So Z, how you doing today?
I'm good.
Doing good?
Yes, I'm good.
How you doing? Mentally, emotionally?
Emotionally, I'm really good. I feel refreshed this morning. And
you had 13 hours of sleep, so
Marlon.
Which you get every
Here
night.
we go. Yes, thank you. Yes, sleep, beauty. You got to get your beauty rest. But of course, I got to work out this morning, so I feel a little energy. And overall, mentally, I'm really good. Physically, feel good. Spiritually, always good.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, that's good. That's all I got to say today. That's rare.
Yeah.
How you feeling today?
Oh yeah, me. Yeah. So I'm doing 12.
Normally he just answers, so that's why.
No, I've been waiting for her to ask me.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you this time. So how you feeling today?
I'm feeling great.
Okay.
I'm always good.
Yeah.
Feeling rested, refreshed. This week was good. The last couple of weeks was a little.
Yeah.
I don't even know the words to say it. And we don't have time to get into it. But
yeah, man.
Just know we've been to San Diego twice, Mexico twice.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't the most it wasn't for fun.
Yes.
All right. But that's not our business to talk about. But we are glad the outcome was great.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm feeling good. I'm excited. I'm actually excited because we are doing our first getaway trip in June with the Marriage Church and Forever Love, right?
Yes.
So exclusive night. So that's gonna be dope. Houston. And we got a lot of great things, man. I'm excited, man. Things are good. So that's us, right?
Yeah.
Anthony, how are you doing?
How are you doing?
Mentally, emotionally, especially, granted, I know it was some time back, and you are in the area of Asheville, given the hurricane, the devastation, leading up to today. I know it's been a lot to rebuild the city, a lot going on. So how are you doing, especially dating back to that what was that? Was it November? When did this happen? September. Man.
Yeah.
Time, man.
Yeah.
So how are you doing? How was everything? How you mentally and emotionally, spiritually, all the above?
I think I'm all right. I think I'm good. Of course, the hurricane was something big, and it's still kind of a big thing here because things are not fixed, things are not back to normal, and I honestly think it's going to be years before it actually gets back to normal. I'm in the River Arts district right now, which got hit really, really hard, and even the Black Wall Street building here was under 20-something feet of water, so you can still see the devastation, you can still see the debris. Then after the hurricane, we've been dealing with fires because they say that the water somehow dried out the trees. So that's a thing here now. So they are cutting down trees. But my mental is fine. It's just pushing. It's like it's like as an African American here in Asheville, you really just gotta keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like you really can't worry about the stuff that's really happening. You just gotta keep going if you really want to just make it. So I'm good. Of course, I got a lot on my plate. The book just released. Um, I'm about to be graduating from college with my degree. I'm
Yeah.
I'm in a program here that I'm about to graduate from in about 2 weeks. So it's a lot. It's a lot on my plate. So, and I mean, to wrap it all up, I'm still a business owner. So I'm still still have to complete orders and make sure customers are good. So mentally, I'm excited about this new journey with the book, but I'm overall all right.
Oh, good.
That's what's up, man. That's what's
Yes.
up. Congratulations on all that success, man.
I
I know
appreciate it.
that's exciting.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. And so listen, we're gonna jump right into this next part, which is the question of the day, which is always an exciting thing, right? So listen, don't hold back. All right, don't hold back.
Yeah.
So, question of the day, y'all ready? You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Question of the day: how do I know if someone sees me as marriage material? How do I know if someone sees me as marriage material? Whoever wants to go first. How do I know if someone sees me as marriage material?
Z, I'll let you take that one. You look like
You're like, huh?
I'll let you go first.
How can someone identify that someone else sees them as marriage material?
Well, I think I would start mentally. I would look at how the person views relationships, how they view their life, and also the way that I carry myself in preparation for being serious in my relationship. Like, I'm not just, being in a relationship just to say that hashtag couple goals, or I'm doing things for the likes and follows, but I'm actually doing it to build a life with someone. And also, I think it comes to the type of questions and how I carry myself in different ways. So I think for me, when they see me, they see the seriousness of me trying to pursue something that is much bigger than just the relationship overall.
Okay.
That's dope. So I think it's about interaction. I think when you interact with somebody in a specific way, especially women interacting with a man, then I think she not only sees the potential in him, but she understands where she wants to be. I think oftentimes men don't catch the hints, and they are not as I'm not gonna say men are dumb, but they are not as in tune with catching the little subtle signs about how much she really likes me, how much she really wants to be with me, how much she wants to grow, build, and those things. So I think it's really about interaction. I think it's about how that person presents themselves to the other person. Because I know that personally, I've been in a lot of relationships where the interaction hasn't been that strong. So it's kind of like she just kind of putting up with what I got going on. She understands that I'm a busy man. She understands that I'm a provider, but she really just kind of putting up with it instead of actually saying, hey, let's think about growing. Let's think about building, or, just having those subtle conversations about growth and about furthering each other. So I think it's really about interaction. And I'm big on that. I'm big on somebody showing me you want me to be your husband, because that to me motivates me to be better, to be a husband, and to be everything that I feel like I need to be. for my family.
Yeah.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good.
1000%.
Yeah.
I think, how do I know if someone sees me as marriage material? I think this is actually where I should give a very simplistic answer, right? You'll know they see you as marriage material by the way they treat you, by the way they handle you, by how they prioritize you, by how they communicate with you. I think I think you'll also know how they see you by how they react to your boundaries, right? If you set boundaries and they don't push to cross that line or they don't disappear on you,
That's good.
that's a sign that, you know what, this is marriage material and I'm willing to wait. I'm willing to be patient. I'm willing to honor, right? And I think from a simplicity standpoint, that's how you know. Because if you're just trying to smash, if you're just trying to get some money out of a guy, if you're just trying to, the behavior is gonna follow, the communication is gonna follow, the manipulation, the guilt tripping, all these different things, the shaming, to kind of push you to get what you want, to push to get what you want. I think that type of behavior and language is always going to show itself,
Yeah. I
Yeah.
agree. That's good.
Yeah, I definitely agree as well.
All right. Well, listen, that was the question of the day. Leave your responses in the comments. Let us know your response to this question because we want to hear from you as well. All right. You are very important to us. Thank you all for continuing to support and listen and watch the podcast. All right. We about to get into the main topic.
Let's get it.
Without further ado. All right.
So, side note, I feel like I'm a little outnumbered here, especially by the title. We talk about women, and like what we doing here? Like, let's dive into this book, cause
listen,
wait a minute.
Cause look, I'm going to reserve my views and comments, right? Because I want to hear from the author of this book.
Okay.
Because I'm sure a lot of people, when they hear this title, they're going to be tuning in with a perspective that might be biased already, right? A negative bias. They're going to assume that they know what the conversation is going to be.
Yeah.
They're going to assume that Anthony Lynch, the author, is chauvinistic or he's in the manosphere and all these, right? Now, now, I have not read the book yet because it just came out and it's not on Amazon yet. You have to purchase it via website and it has to be shipped to you. So I have not read the book yet, but I went to the website and I got some insight on the book and I wrote some things down. And that's kind of what I'm going to use to kind of gauge this conversation initially. And then we're going to just open the floodgates, right? Now, with this book, right? Because I know my wife, as she listens to this content, she's going to be like, what lies we tell?
Okay.
All right. Now, you say in the book, Lies Women Tell, it's about understanding reality, right? And you say the social conditioning, the hidden test, the instincts that drive attraction. And if you don't understand the truth, you'll keep feeling frustrated, confused, left behind. So let's unpack this with our initial part of this conversation, right? Lies Women Tell, it's about understanding reality. So, two-part question. What made you write this book? Where did it come from? And how, and I want you to tie in the concept of it's about understanding reality.
That's 3, by the way.
Yeah, it's like a try. Yeah, sorry. A try question.
All right. So well, let me start out by first saying Z is not a women bashing book. And it's funny because I have to say that because people are triggered by the title, which, I understand. I completely understand. But when you read the entire title, then that kind of eases the feeling of feeling triggered. So the entire
real quick, Anthony, would they be triggered? Would people be triggered if it was Lies Men Tell?
No. Of course not.
I think they would, but I think they would be triggered in a different way.
Gotcha.
Are we starting this already?
Now I'm just asking. You think they would? You
No.
think people would be?
Yes, I think they would.
Okay.
You just trying to
I'm
be
just curious.
funny.
I'm just curious. All right.
I think with that, if that was the title, I think women would be triggered to be empowered. And they like, girl, I want to read this. Girl, we gonna put this in a book. We gonna get a circle. We gonna really
We're
dive
gonna get
in.
a book club. We're gonna get a book club for this book.
Yeah, I think they will be in a club. They gonna fight. They gonna have each other's back. They gonna really dive into that. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just a trigger. I think it's really gonna trigger people either way. You know, when we talk about women and we talk about lies, then a lot of people go through those. Oh my God, I know he's not talking about me, and that's when you start to have to face yourself and face that accountability that you know in your brain that you done probably not faced in between some, like not given to somebody. So the entire title of the book is The Lies Women Tell: How Modern Relationships Set Men Up to Fail, and what men must do to win. So really the premise of the book is from a male perspective or from a masculine perspective of women will say that they want one thing, but in my experience, that's a lie. That's not real. That's a facade. That's something that, you know what I'm saying? That's a test to tell you, well, I just want to see if he gonna really be that type of person. Because in my views, women test. It's a thing. It's a common thing that men don't understand. And that's part of the book. The testing that women do, the things that women tell you, to me, is a test. They want to test to see what type of man you are. They want to test and see how compatible you are, or how you're going to lead, or how you're going to structure this relationship, how are you going to prioritize them. So they put tests in situations. So that's why I named it The Lies Women Tell, is because
now knowing why you named it this book, the question is, what sparked you to write this?
I've been doing research on this topic my entire life. Like my entire life. I'm still in relationships. And I'm not meaning physical relationships. I'm meaning just anybody, like my mom, my aunts, my cousins. I'm in relationships right now with women who do these things and have been doing these things and have manipulated me in certain ways and have done different things. It's literally 26 chapters of life experiences. In each chapter, I literally start with a personal story. So this is 26 chapters of just lived experiences with women that I've had in my life.
But okay, let me dig a little bit deeper. But what made you, like, what happened when you said, okay, I gotta write a book? Like what was that
people,
moment?
like men need to see this, or women need to understand what they're doing to men. Like what made you say, like, this is just, y'all need to hear this?
What was that moment for you? Like my wife said, like that men need to hear this.
I think not only my lived experiences, but understanding people in my family, friends that are in relationships, that are in marriages, and they are frustrated. Men particularly. I know a lot of men that are frustrated in relationships because they feel like regardless of what they do, they can't get it right. You know what I'm saying? I've witnessed personally, I would say about 4 of my really close homeboys literally separate from the wives because they like, it really just don't matter what I do. It seemed like she just don't want to work with me. She don't want to help me out. She don't want to acknowledge the fact that I'm providing everything and she doesn't have to do anything. She's not acknowledging that I'm pushing this life. And that was the thing that got to me. Like, I'm like, as a single man, I'm frustrated because I have been in relationships and I have tried to be in relationships that did not benefit me. And I'm being a nice guy. You know, I've been cheated on. I've been manipulated. I've been taken advantage of. And I don't feel like those stories are told. We don't really shed a light on men and the mental health and the things that they go through in relationships. So when I say that I've been literally writing this book my entire life, I have, and I think it was a point where I got manipulated by somebody that I really liked, I really cared about, and it was just like, why did you do it? You know what I'm saying? It wasn't the fact that the hurt happened. It was the fact that I was curious. I became curious in why did you react like this? Because if this is something that I can fix, this may be something that I can fix for my entire life. So when my wife does come along, I won't have this problem. I won't, have to worry about it. So it was really through situations, through hurt, through excitement, through a lot of trial and error. And that when I hit that trial and error, it was like, oh man, I feel like everybody needs to know this. Everybody needs to understand this. Each guy that I'm seeing out here suffer really needs to dig into this and to know this information. Because if they don't know, then they really just out here on a whim. They have no idea. They just doing whatever they feel like maybe she wants them to do and thinking that's the right thing to do. And, wasting time. So so I got frustrated and it was just like, I'm turning my frustration into research, into curiosity, into a platform where men have a place to vent. Men understand these rules that women won't tell you. And I mean, it just needs to be told.
You mentioned it's about understanding reality and you mentioned the social conditioning, right? I want to get into that piece of it first. Right. The thing is, this is what I've noticed. Me and my wife, we have a company called Forever Love, and we do relationship counseling, coaching for singles, couples, marriage, all the above, right?
Right.
PRMU, the Relationship Marriage University, we do relationship education, we do it all, right? Mm-hmm. Here's one of the challenges I'm seeing personally as I watch single people navigate their life and trying to find love and, marriage. One of the biggest challenges, and I'm only mentioning this because the topic today is lies women tell. It's not that I'm ignoring the male side. This is just, okay. A lot of a lot of women today, right? And hear me when I say this, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies, we're picking and choosing based on convenience. And here's what I mean by that. And it's presenting a very big challenge in the dating market or the relational world. For example, you want a traditional man when it comes to providing, but you want a modern man when it comes to the household.
Mhm.
You want a traditional man when it comes to chivalry, but you want a modern man when it comes to equality. This is presenting a major challenge, I believe, amongst men and women, because what it does is it puts the woman in the driver's seat to control and manipulate emotionally based on feelings. Because if you're not a provider, I can call you not a man. But if you try to tell me what to do, I can then call you a chauvinist. Then if you tell me what I should and shouldn't wear, now you are this, that, and the third, right? Or if you don't believe, if you believe a woman should take care of the home, now you are a sexist, or you are a this, that, and the third. But if you don't pay my bills, if you don't protect me, you're not a real man. So I think, to me, I think that's one of the major components to the challenges we're seeing in terms of the community relationally, which brings me to the social conditioning aspect with the manosphere, with patriarchy, with feminism, with all of these different major components, right? That is kind of jumping into this melting pot of gumbo, creating all of this conditional confusion or conditional submission, conditional leadership, all these different aspects. How does social conditioning become a byproduct of all of these different components? And why does it speak heavily to your book?
I mean, I think to your point, um, women don't always say what they really feel or what they mean. And I think they don't say that because they want to, how can I put it without being disrespectful in any way?
No.
They
Speak your mind.
Speak
This
your
is
mind,
no.
brother.
We keep it real.
Yeah.
We keep it real on the Forever
Okay.
Love. We keep it
Listen.
real on the Forever Love podcast now.
Okay.
Shoot, straight shooter, no chaser.
so I think women strategically don't say everything that they really mean. And I think that's a good thing, but I think a lot of men don't understand that. I think men will just take a woman, listen to what she says, and run with it, but not understanding that, hey, that's the test. She really just wants to see if you were going to run with it, or if you were going to man up and be masculine enough to say, well, babe, I don't agree with that. You know what I'm saying? This is where I feel like we need to go. This is where I feel like we need to grow in these areas. So I think it's really a lot of women who feel like they are masculine in areas that they probably never had a man in that area. So like if a woman is a single mother, and she out here working, and she never really had a father that held her down. She never got to see a man take care of the household. You know, she's a byproduct of a fatherless household, but she's raising a son. I feel like that son is not going to be as masculine because she doesn't have that. She doesn't have that role model to see, well, this is a masculine man, and a masculine man handle his business regardless. You know what I'm saying? So she can't then pass that down to her son, and then he becomes a man that is not as masculine, and he's more into his feelings, and that becomes a problem because he is not the man that I want him to be. Or, he gets in a relationship with a woman, and it's similar situations. He's not masculine. So I feel like it's, like you said, a melting pot of a lot of experiences all the way around that really go from generations to generations to generations, and it's situational. Because I mean, of course, I know every single mother hasn't had the same experience. I know every single mother's son that was raised by a single mother, they are not all feminine, you know what I'm saying? And they are not all masculine, but with the statistics and the way the statistics show, if we don't have strong men in people's lives, men or women, the statistics drop drastically because it's just, you're missing that masculine piece. So I feel like it's a generational thing, that really, just like you said, is a gumbo of a lot of situational things, that society puts us in.
Right. So here's the question, right? It sounds like your book is really saying women lie strategically to test men.
Yeah, yeah, that's part of it.
Now, are you also saying women just simply lie?
No, I'm not saying women simply lie. Often the test is really just kind of trying to weed out the men that she don't want. You know, it's trying to just test and see if I really want to be with this man, how this man is going to react in this situation. How are we compatible? What traits do I like about this man, etc. So I don't think women are just compulsive liars or anything like that. But I do think women test you, and they won't tell you that they're testing you. And to me, that's the lie. That's the hidden rules that women have that they won't tell you about, but they are actually following, is the lie. So that's kind of the premise of it.
So, all right. So, let me put okay. Let me, because I want to make sure I fully get this right.
Hmm.
Are you saying that because, well, it's two things. It's two things. Let me one thing at a time. So you're saying women lie to test men, which is their way of figuring out if this man is who they want. Is that correct?
Kind of. I'm saying that women play by a hidden set of rules that they don't tell men about. The hidden set of rules is the lie. Part of the hidden set of rules is the test that women won't tell you. They won't tell you that they're actually testing you. And to me, that's the lie. You
Got
understand?
you. So
Yeah.
so you're saying women are operating from the understanding of they know what they're doing,
Mhm.
and it's a strategy to get what?
It's a strategy to weed out the things that they want, the characteristics, the probability of attraction, everything. I feel like women test their men to, I mean, like any other test. Like they're going to test him to grade him, to see where he is, to see what she feels like she fits in his life. I feel like it's a test. And the test is not going to be told to the man, but it's still going to be tested.
Yeah, so like deception. So basically it's a deception with women. And I ain't gonna hold you to it. I can remember growing up as a teenager, going into adulthood, what that game looked like. Because a lot of women, I mean, growing up, it's about a chase. And I know we talked about this probably plenty of times about it's about the chase of the man for the woman that gives us hope in our relationships. So, when I hear you talk about this, it's just like, dang, I know I was that woman that literally, that girl is like, nah, if you don't want to open my door for me, then what kind of man are you? Or if you don't call me at a certain time, if you don't call me in the morning or text me, then you're not really interested. Let me not call him for 3 days to see if he's really interested in me. And I remember rules that literally my friends would say, like, girl, if he don't do this in X, Y, Z time, that means that he ain't really interested in you. He got somebody else. And I literally would go by these rules, and it, like, sometimes you miss a good man. Sometimes it is true that the guy is who he really shows his colors, because he's normally he's talking to another girl or he's interested in somebody else. But a lot of it is, it's just a game. Like, literally, we're playing a game with these men's emotions. Even if I, for instance, I'm using a man as putting him in the friend zone, but I ain't gonna put his name out there, but he know who he is. I had a friend literally I put him in the friend zone for years, and he'll wine and dine me, take me out, do all these things, show me about the city, all these things. But I knew in my hearts of hearts that he will never be the man that I would even consider being in a relationship. But I used him.
Was he a good man?
He was a good man. But
we about to bust this we about to bust this conversation wide open. I'm ready. So I'm over here tuning up.
First of all, he was a good man.
It's up after this.
But there were some stipulations that me as an individual did not want. So he was a smoker. He smoked weed. I did not like, that was not like, it was cool, but that was not my tea. He sold drugs. That was not my tea. But he had the money. So I was like, hey, if you want to use the money to do this, he was smart, intelligent. Like, he got himself out, like, he sold drugs so that he could stay in school. So it wasn't like it was one of those things, but he was a cornball to me. Like,
now, I asked you if he was a good man, right?
Yes. But
you say yes.
Yes.
This is the place.
But at the same time,
it's up after this.
There's pieces to the puzzle that it didn't fit my needs, but it fit the needs of the things that I desired or wanted as a person. Like, as a girl, wanted to be wined and dined, a man that would do these things with no stipulations, because he never asked for sex, he never asked to, like, for none of those things that normally comes with, with money. Like, if a man is giving you something, he usually wants something in return, but he never did that. He was okay with being in the friend zone, being okay. Well,
no, he was never okay with being in the
he
friend
was
zone.
okay with being there in that place. But for me, I felt like he was okay with it because he continued to pursue these to be around me. Like, he continued to, put that money out, and I'm like, hey, if you want to do it, if you willing to do this, and I don't have to do nothing but show you a good time or just be a good friend to you, like, I'm cool with it, So I get it, but to this day, I'm like, dang, Z, why you do that? Like, why would you lead this man on for so long and be in this place? Because of course it was more about a selfish thing for me. It was just more of like, this is what I was taught growing up, with having friends and people. Like, this is, girl, you got a man that would do that for you, girl, you better ride that thing till the wheels fall off. Like, it was just a thing. It was okay,
Right. That was what was taught to you. You get what I'm saying? So with that being taught, in my opinion, that's the things, that's some of the things that the book talks about. Like, you knew from jump, oh, he is not husband material to me. You know what I'm saying? But I am gonna use these benefits to my benefit. So it's that's the thing that the book talks about. In my opinion, breaks down for men, and it really just sheds a light on things like that.
Now we about to open this up. See, when women play the game, they can only play the game with a certain caliber of a man.
Yeah, right.
Right.
True.
True.
So when women are testing men, the question is, what level of a man are they testing? Right?
You
Yep.
called him a simp.
No. I don't. No.
That's funny because in the book I talk about simp tax, what I call simp tax. So I literally say this in the book, that there are men out here that are providing simp tax, whether that's financial, whether that's emotional, or whether that's time, simp tax. You're not going to get anything out of it. You're literally being looked at as a weak man from her, but she's not going to tell you this because she's benefiting from your weakness. So that's literally part of my book. And it's the book is not to down men, it's to not only empower men or give men knowledge, but it's also telling men you can't be this guy. You can't be what you think you are. You have to constantly be pushing yourself. You have to constantly be moving forward, like not being stagnant, going after your goals, going after your dreams, because that to me in a woman's eyes makes you more attractive. A woman loves a man that she like, girl, I ain't got to worry about this. He doing this. He out here working. We going here next week. He got another job, and it's like that to me is what women want. They want a man that's actually going out here and pushing themselves and that's bettering himself and not staying stagnant, not just trying to stop in one place and provide simp tax. But that's part of what the book is about.
And this is why, y'all ready? We about to open this up. And this is why so many women are going to, in 30 years, be single, lonely, by themselves, right? Because they're being socially conditioned to go after a certain type of man. This is the analogy I've used before in a previous podcast episode. Everybody likes the same piece of the chicken, but it ain't but so many pieces of that chicken available. So either you're going to start to like the other pieces of chicken or you're going to be hungry. Now, we all know people like the thigh.
Yeah.
People love the thigh. Right? People love the thigh. Not too many people like the leg, but people like the wings and the thigh. But some people have to learn to love the breast and the leg. Period. Yeah. Now, here's the challenge. Women are being conditioned to go after a matter of fact, let me tell you what I the other day I was going to put a Facebook post up, but I didn't. I said men are being conditioned to love and be attracted to various types of women. Women are being conditioned to be attracted to specific types of men. Notice the difference. Men have been conditioned socially to be attracted to various types of women. Various types. Which is why the choices we have are mass and available to us. And we would accept a white woman, a black woman, a Puerto Rican woman, a Blasian woman, etc., a Brazilian woman, black and Asian. A Brazilian woman, a Brazilian woman, etc., right? A European woman, like, because we've been conditioned to be attracted to and love various types of women. But if women are only being conditioned to a specific type of man, now let me break this down a little bit more. When it comes to women, we have very few stipulations. Be beautiful, be attractive.
Isn't that the same thing?
No.
Okay.
Be beautiful, be attractive, Don't have drama. The end.
And
Now
respect.
and you can, if you want to add a fourth, be respectful, have sex with me, you know, but it's no more than 4 or 5 things.
Mm-hmm.
We're conditioned to be attracted to various women as long as we have these few things, right? Now with women, they're being conditioned that he got to be tall, attractive, make a lot of money. He has to be popular. He has to um well, this is a family show, but you know,
It's a family
he
show.
has to have a certain, he has to be a certain size in his reproductive organs,
Oh.
right? He has to, and then here comes all of the other stipulations. How does he dress? How does he wear his clothes? Is it too tight? Is it too loose? How is the haircut? Is the hair too long? Is the hair too short? What about the hairline? And the list goes on and on and on and on and on.
I know what you've been watching.
It never stops. It never stops. It almost
never
seems
stops.
like it almost seems like women are conditioned to continuously go after better and better and better and better. And it's funny because I watch a lot of shows, I watch a lot of podcasts, I do a lot of research. But when you look at these shows, and when you look at these different podcasts and things like Pop the Balloon, and you sit up here and you like this guy just walked out. All he did was walk out. And everybody popped their balloon. But then as soon as he say, well, shoot, I'm a millionaire. Oh, let me get my balloon back. I need my balloon back. Like, well, you just popped it. Because at that point, you made a conscious decision to yourself. You're not going to love that man, but you are going to benefit from that man. And that's the thing that changes. That's the thing that changes, in my opinion. That's the lies women tell. She knew from jump. Oh, I'm not marrying him. I'm not giving him my all, but I can put up with him for a little bit, so I can get what I really need to get. And when I get what I need to get, then it's whatever. It's up after that. You know what I'm saying? It's up. And that guy, yeah, and that guy left. He left there.
Yeah. So what I was going to say, you about to say something?
Yeah, I was saying there's conditions to it. Like, you know, it's like, all right, well, I guess I could deal with you not your haircut not looking like that. I guess we can change it. But since you got money, let me go ahead and get my, like you said, get my balloon back. Or I can deal with that now because maybe I might be attracted to you later.
Yeah. But see, the thing is this, to your point, this is all right. This is the challenge. Just for a second, to all my single ladies, if you want to be married one day, hear what I'm about to say. Hear my heart. You're going to have to reverse engineer your way of thinking and processing and conditioning. Because a man, when he looks at a woman, he's looking at a few things, because he's not basing anything off of all the extra stuff. Right? He doesn't care about your money like that. He doesn't care about what you could do for him, trips, financially. He's not looking at any of that. He wants to know, are you attractive? Will you have sex with me? And will you respect me? Even there are men who are willing to accept women who can't cook nowadays. Because they can just get a maid, pay for a house cleaning service. They even clean. We're not aware. Okay, let me stay on topic.
But how does a woman change her mindset, or how do you get out of that mindset of being like that? Because you have to think about it. If we're being conditioned this way, if this is something that has been taught from birth, that this is a type of man that you should marry or you should be in a relationship with. This is what it looks like. How do you get someone to get out of that mindset? Like, that's the $1 million question, because it's about the mindset, about how you view what you're, getting yourself into. Because
this is an easy answer.
some people just, they want what they want, and it's like there's no, what's the word, that when you don't, there's no compromise. So why don't you, how can you be okay with compromising what you really think that you want or what you really need?
Here's the answer. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All we have to do is ask ourselves one question.
Mm-hmm.
Who's conditioning the women? Men or women?
Men.
You think so?
I mean,
why would men
I think
condition
single women?
All right.
Women.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Because the question would be, why would men condition women?
Yeah, I got
right.
you.
So the answer is women are conditioning other women.
Mm-hmm.
Now the question is, are these women healed women or broken women or hurt women or bitter women?
Mm-hmm.
See, when we start breaking down the issue with these questions, it brings to light some of the real issues.
Mm-hmm.
If women are being conditioned by other women who are not successfully married or in relationships, then what you're doing is you're creating more broken women to remain single, to be in misery with you. That's what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. And I also think part of it is the women need to be real and honest with themselves. Because women know what they're doing. That's like, you knew when you met this guy and he's spending money on you, you knew from jump, oh, he's not husband material, but these benefits are working for me right now. Mm-hmm. And you have to be honest with yourself and say, am I looking for a husband, or am I looking just to benefit off his benefits? And I feel like if people are honest, or if women and men are honest with themselves, then you can alleviate a lot of problems. Because women are smart, they are strategic, they are amazing, godly creatures. And with that being said, they also understand what they can and can't get away with, almost like a child. Like, children know what they can and can't get away with whatever parent, with whatever auntie, et cetera, because they've done these trial and error tests. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew when I was younger, I knew I'm not going to do the same things that I do in front of my dad as my mom. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to do those same things. So I feel like if people are honest with themselves and you understand, well, am I in a place in my life where I want a husband, or am I in a place in my life where I'm looking for a wife? I need to be honest with myself and say, yes, I'm in that place, or no, I'm not in that place. I'm really just out here having fun. I'm really just out here testing the waters and see if I still got it, or just get my ego stroked a little bit. I just think people need to be honest.
Yeah, I think too, with the honesty, a lot of people are afraid of the outcome, that that you may not receive what you want from that. Because, say for instance, if you get somebody emotionally tied up, especially for a man, you get him, oh girl, you so beautiful, you're doing all the things, and I can wine and dine you. You're making me feel like the macho man, like we're rubbing your ego and all these things. Like, we know how to play the game, but at the end of the day, it's like, if I was just honest with you, would you really still do this? But 9 times, maybe 8 times out of 10, probably down to 7 times out of 10, some men be like, okay, I'm cool with this. Like, this is our mutual thing. I do this, you do that. We got a business agreement here. It is what it is. And some men are like, no, you're not playing with my emotions. Like, we're not going down this road. And let me find somebody that's really going to appreciate me for me.
You've heard me say this a million times. Mm-hmm. The number one problem with human beings in a relationship space is they're not honest.
Yeah.
That's the number one problem, period. Humanity is not honest. What I mean by that is we lie to ourselves more than we lie to any other human being on the face of the planet, right? All of this begins with the fact that we're not honest. Small examples, right? I cannot say I love myself and I've decorated myself. What I mean by that is I cannot put on makeup. I cannot spray my hairline on. I cannot put on eyelashes. I cannot get dressed and then call myself attractive. No, I'm not attractive unless I can call myself that and believe that with nothing enhanced. See, this is one example, and I got thousands of examples. My point is that the challenge we have to face is if we're going to be honest about things, let's just be honest and let's pull the entire curtain back. Y'all ready? If women, this goes back to me answering your question. How do you reverse engineer the conditioning? Well, number one, you have to be told the truth and you have to receive it. You can't deflect it. You can't reject it. You have to receive the truth in love. And the truth is, if you believe that you should be in a position to choose your husband, you've already lost. Because no woman should choose their husband. You can accept your husband after he has extended the invitation to make you his wife. But you don't choose your husband. And see, when we start talking like this is where you get into the chauvinism, the sexism, the patriarchy, the old timer. This is where you get to selectively decide whether or not you want to be in tradition or in modernism. So the reality is women shouldn't choose their husbands because you put it like this. I'm gonna give away one of my courses. Piece of information in one of my courses. When men date, it's like shopping for a car. You never see a car choosing the owner. You always see the owner choosing the car because the owner is deciding on which car he wants based on what he needs and what fits his life. You never see groceries jumping in somebody's cart. No, the groceries are at the mercy of the shopper who picks you up and puts you in the cart based on what they decide to do and how they decide to eat for their life. Women are groceries and cars. Your responsibility is to be available when chosen. Now, this sounds really harsh, but here's the reality. A wife was given to Adam based on his needs. So when a man chooses a wife, he's choosing based on the needs for him and his life and his family. So when a woman gets into the place where she's choosing a man and testing him and trying to figure out this is the man for me and all this other stuff, you've already put yourself at a disadvantage. You've already positioned yourself to be played. Because the truth is, while a lot of women think that they're testing a man, they're actually getting played. And that's the reality. So what we're dealing with is a real serious problem in our community, which is preventing people from actually getting the results that they want, which is to be happily married and build a family. Now, let me go to the second thing. The second thing is this. If we're not careful, right? If we're not very careful, and we keep going down this path, for a lot of women, they're going to end up single for the rest of their life. And here's why. Because women are very smart, to Anthony, to your point, very intelligent, they got degrees out the hoo-ah. But for some strange reason, that wisdom, that smartness don't translate relationally. For some strange reason. And I don't believe it's because women are dumb. I believe is that women were created in such a way that they can be impressionable just like a child. Now, ladies, before you start bashing me, hear me out. Women are made to be impressionable for a reason. it caters to the softness that a woman is created with. That softness is so that the husband can have what he needs in relation to what he's not built with. An emotional sensitivity, the ability to see things from not just a logical perspective, the ability to understand what a child is feeling when a man is just like, what are you doing? No. See, a wife provides that middle space that men need, that buffers the entire marriage and home and the relationship and the family. And what happens is, if women ignore that part of themselves and try to step into masculine aspects of life, they're going to put themselves at a disadvantage and do themselves a disservice when it comes to being chosen for being a wife. And what ends up happening is, hear me out. What ends up happening is you find yourself in a space where gender wars are starting to heat up times 10, times 20, times 30. Because, to be fair, a lot of men are not in position as leaders, fathers, husbands. And so now women have been put in a position to have to lead and do things in the home and do things they were never created or designed to do. So to be fair, men, we have put these women in positions that they should have never been in the first place. We can blame the government. We can blame black people. We can blame white people. That's fine. That's for another conversation. But the point I'm making is this. The challenge is always going to be, are we able to get back to the order of which we were designed to function together as a unit? Man, woman, children. The order is husband, wife, children. The husband is the head. The husband leads. The wife follows. The children follow. Like, if we don't get back to the order, if we don't get back to the process by which God created things to be, we're going to still be in this space where women are trying to play the game that they were never created to play, because the game wasn't created by God. It was created by the enemy. Right? So to Anthony's point, you find yourself passing up on really good men. So you play the game with the good men that you're not attracted to. But there are no rules for the man you are attracted to, and you play his game. See, and you end up single. And I'm gonna digress.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in agreement with you. I think it's all of that, and I do want women to just be honest. Like I said, I've had a lot of experience with women that are not honest with themselves, and in the end, it's even more hurtful on everybody's side because she just wasn't honest. When she knew, hey, I'm not gonna be with him, but this one over here, I'm gonna give him a shot. It don't matter that he not doing what this guy over here doing. It don't matter that, he is this guy over here. I'm benefiting from this guy over here. He helping my kids. He just too nice. He'll take my kids to practice, and he'll pay a bill if I need to, or he'll come over and fix something for me, or I mean anything. And it's just to me, it's the honesty thing. Just be honest. A lot of people are just not honest. And I feel like, especially with this age, everybody listening to Sexy Red and Glorilla, and they feel empowered to be out here man bashing and all of this. And at the end of the day, we don't really know if they happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody knows if Sexy Red is happy. Nobody knows if Glorilla is happy. They might rap about this, I don't need a man for this and I don't need a man for that, but you still go to the gym every day. You're not going to the gym just because you enjoy going to the gym. You're going to the gym because you want something at the end of that. And if that at the end of that is a husband, then stop lying to people. You get what I'm saying? Like stop telling people out here, oh, I don't need a man. I'm making this happen. But you going to the gym every day. You going to the gym and you're consciously telling yourself that I know I'm gonna keep my body right because at the end of the day, I want a husband and I want to make sure that it's a high class husband. It's somebody that's gonna see me and they're gonna have to see me in a certain way because I'm gonna have to present myself in that way. So it's just.
Would you say? Let me ask you this: would you say that women lie to the men they're not attracted to, but allow themselves to be lied to by the men they are attracted to?
Yes. I completely agree. The reason I agree is because I feel like they allow those walls to be down when they are attracted to that man. That attraction got him in the door. So when that attraction got him in the door, it's like, well, by him even being in the door, the walls are already down. For him to even be able to walk through that door, her walls is already down. She already accepting of some things. Whereas if it's the guy that's she just benefiting from, her walls are up. He don't know her walls are up. Like he don't know he hadn't walked through that door. He's still doing stuff trying to get in the door. So he feel like, man, I need to go take her shopping. I need to make sure a bill paid. I need to do this extra stuff, all of this extra stuff, all of this what I call simp tax. I need to do all of this because I want to walk through that door one day. I just need a crack. I just need her to open the door. She ain't even got to open it all the way. I just need her to crack it. So when she crack it, I'm in there. I'm gonna slide through. That's the hope and the benefit for that guy that's out here just putting in work. But the guy that's already done got in the door with his attraction, he good. Walls are already down for him. He the only person at that point that can mess it up.
You know. Oh, go ahead.
Hey, I was gonna say. Go ahead.
Now I was just gonna say, it seems like what we're realizing in our generation is a woman will say a man needs to give effort, right? But the question is, the man you're attracted to doesn't need to give effort.
Okay, yes, that's what I was going. That was playing in my mind. It's like when we, as women, when we see that you're putting too much effort, we don't appreciate it. But when there is just again, there's a chase of, oh, I want to have some type of control, if that makes sense. Like you feel like you're in control of your emotional being. I think most it's so much to unpack, but not all women are like this. Again, not all men are like this. But when you do see this happening, I think it's more of, as a woman, we don't want to get hurt, but we don't mind hurting someone.
But
so that wall goes up.
I was gonna say, I think that's kind of they don't mind hurting someone, but they're not gonna be honest and say, "Oh, I knew I was hurting him." They're gonna say, "Oh, well, I just thought you were being nice." You know what I'm saying? Like you knew the whole time that you wasn't gonna make him your husband, but you benefited from them joys he was buying or them bills he was paying. But you knew at the end of the day that wasn't gonna be your say all end all. You know what I'm saying? So I'm totally in agreement with you. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine. But yeah, that makes you think, like, even in not being hurt, somebody's getting hurt in the relationship regardless, because there's still some kind of emotional ties. Like what you're doing is still somebody's getting emotionally involved, regardless of the fact on either end. Somebody's getting emotionally involved because even if it's a man that loves to give and want to do these things, he's getting emotionally involved because now he's like, okay, I'm doing this for you, so what can I receive from you now? Like, what can I get now? And for a woman, it's like, I'm receiving this gift, this is what I'm having, but I'm just going to block that emotional, that part of what I really want in a man, to not allow me to get caught up in knowing who you are if this is not what I truly am looking for. So, it's so many nuances when it comes to it. And I think for us, as women, we have to realize that, again, at the end of the day, we have to be honest with the man and be okay with them saying no, and being okay with, if this doesn't happen for you, then you have to be okay with that, sis. Like, you have to be okay that you're not going to find a man that you're attracted to that's going to do the things that the man that you're not attracted to, that's going to do those things for you. Or you have to come to the mindset of understanding that, hey, I need to change my mindset and how I view the men that I want to treat me this way, and see them for something different other than the men that I'm really attracted to. Because at times we may look at our attraction to the people, or our attraction to our attraction to these men, and they're a piece of crap. Like, they're just not good men at all. So it's like, why are you attracted to this no good man? Like, what man is okay to be attracted to versus this man that is willing to give you the world, and you don't want that? Like, why do you want something that's just, it looks good, it feels good, but someone that actually is doing the will of God in so many ways that you need as a woman? Why do you want to be with that man so bad? Like, what is it about that? And that it has to be, of course, the upbringing of, if you had a single mom, and the type of man that she might have had may have not been the type of man that you wanted, and you wanted something better. So now you're changing your mindset and how you view men. Or it could be, you're the type of household that you grew up in. You might have grew up poor, and now you're like, I'm never going to have a man that's poor, or that doesn't do these X, Y, and Z. So it comes to, like, in the beginning of how we grew up and how we view these men in our lives, or lack of men in our lives, what we get attracted to going forward. And it's just a reverse of how we have to change our mindset. And it has to be like, all right, knowing that you like this type of man now, why do I like him? And what about this man do I think that he's going to be able to bring to the table for my relationship? Like, is this really a benefit for me? Or is this just something to have because I'm stubborn and I want to show everybody that my man can do this, or another woman want this man? Like, what is it about it? Like, why?
The man she wants is a highlight of her trauma and her insecurities.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say that too. I was
Yeah.
gonna say, and it's also based on, how we view ourselves as women too. That goes hand in hand. Like, literally, I can, because I can go back to myself, just thinking, like, as a girl, I didn't really see myself as attractive, or I had to put more effort into men, or for them to see me more, to be a flirt, or for me to put myself out there and do more so that I can get the attention from the men that I really wanted. But when I put myself out there that way, I got trash men. Like, I got some men that was like, what the heck? Like, this is garbage. You fine, but you just, like, that ain't it. Like, this ain't really what I want. I want it because it was hard for me to get it, but when I got it, it's not really what I needed. Like, you ain't it. Like, you cool. Like, it looked good on the outside, but the package that comes on the inside, when I open it, that junk is trash. Like remind me of those chocolate covered straw cherries. Oh, I hate them things. It look good on the outside, but you open it up and it got the cherry on the inside, and
Oh, you mean like on the in the
package.
packet, the special
The
chocolates?
special chocolates.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like I don't know. Ain't nobody got time. But yeah, so I digress.
Yeah. I mean, essentially, and I know that's a deeper conversation, but for a lot of women, the type of man they want is a reflection of how they view themselves negatively. Um and 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 I ain't gonna spend time explaining that. I'll say that for another podcast episode, but
let me go
no,
one
you
more
good.
thing.
You good.
But it just reminds me too, like, I think about, different situations of women that even they will have a man in their life just for a to fill the void,
A filler.
to fill the space. And I think as women, we need to stop doing that. Like, for real, y'all. Like, girl, ladies, women, cis, like, stop doing that, because all you're doing is you're hurting the individual that is filling this void, and you're going to hurt yourself in the long run. Like, go get healed and really take care of yourself. Like, be okay with being by yourself. And I think that's the part that is like, we feel like we have to have a man, or we feel like we have to have something. Like, you literally don't have to have that. Like, if you're not healed and you can't appreciate men for who they are and everything that they bring to the table, like, you need to really evaluate how you view these men, like how you view men in general in your lives, and not and don't take it, like, don't take this life for granted, or people's lives for granted, because they can be going for somebody else. And if you don't want them, you don't want them. Just be honest and be okay with that. Be okay with being that you don't want the nigga, like, you don't want them. It's okay. Like, if you want somebody to wine and dine you, go find you a sugar daddy. Somebody that's like, hey, baby, like, let me do that, whatever. Like, do that. Like, but be honest. At least sugar daddy's saying that I just want you a presence, and I just want to wine and dine you, and this is what it is. Like, be honest with that. But again, that's just is at the end of the day, we have to figure out. We have to be okay with not having. And that's usually not the case.
Now, Anthony, did you want to respond to that? Because I have a question for you.
I mean, to me, I just think it just boils back to my point of just being honest. And this is why I wrote the book. I mean, to me, it's the lies women tell. So it's just being honest. It's literally just talking about these unwritten rules that women have, and they really just don't tell guys. So
Now, because if they're honest, though, okay, let's just say a young lady, 35 years old, 2 kids, 2 long-term relationships that just didn't work out, right? What if being honest doesn't get her anywhere? What if she feels like, man, if I be honest, I ain't gonna have nobody here for my kids. I ain't gonna have. It's like I got to keep this guy around, because like what would you say to that woman?
I would say she still has to be honest. I said, like, you can't put people in positions and expect for them not to react. So if she is not honest with that man, and she just continuously uses that man, then when this man find out that, oh, I was just being used this entire time, and he crash out, we can't then say, oh my God, she's the victim, because he's been used the entire time. We don't know how much trauma he's had in his life. We don't know. We don't know his mental. We don't know, how she mentally affected this man. So the safest thing to do and the easiest thing to do is to be honest. If you don't put that man in a situation and then expect for him not to react, you know what I'm saying? That's like backing a snake into a corner and saying, you better not bite me. Like, like, if you bite me, it's gonna be a problem. And no, we can't do that. So I just think that woman needs to be honest up front, regardless of what the situation. If it doesn't go the way she wanted it to go, chances are that's the best way for it to go, because you don't know what type of man that is. You don't know what his mental is. You don't know what you did or what you do to him will push him over whatever edge. And I I I look at the glass half full, and I can say, I don't condone anything, any violence between men and women. I don't condone any domestic violence. I don't agree with any of it. I don't think a man should put his hands on a woman. I don't think a woman should put her hands on a man. But when you sit up here and you think about, well, she been using this man for 3 years. This man thinking at the end of this, he is going to be this loving husband. He's going to have his family, and then say she don't want to be in a relationship anymore for whatever reason. Maybe because she found another man that do more than what he do. His mental is messed up. That's like a mental impact. So I can't then say at that point, well, I'm mad that he slapped her, for instance. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm not condoning domestic violence, but he crashed out and he slapped her in her face. And all of a sudden, he got a lifelong case because she played with his mental for 3 long years, knowing that at the end of this, he wasn't going to be the one she chose.
And this actually speaks to the pick and choose, traditional, modern, right? Because if the roles were reversing in your scenario, it would be, well, he shouldn't have been playing with her heart. He shouldn't have been doing this. He shouldn't have been doing that, right? But if it is the woman doing that to the man, it's a man should be a man and just walk away. See, it's the picking and choosing that's making the relational space very troubling, right? And to the point you're making, because I went ooh, because you entering into a territory that people don't like. Our community does not like when we talk about the realities of what women do to men and how it harms men mentally and emotionally, and what the repercussions of that could be. Not that we condone violence, not that we condone domestic disputes or anything of that nature. But at some point, men have to be seen as human. And for forever, men have not been seen as human.
Man, I'm completely in agreement with you. I mean, personally, I've been through situations where I could have went crazy, just based on, I give you an example, and this is a personal thing. I think artists, but I don't think Z, but my son, I found out my son wasn't biologically my son when he was 14 years old. The reason I found out now, and this is
my second time hearing it, and it still makes me mad. But
So I found out when he was 14 that he wasn't biologically mine. Now I signed the birth certificate, so legally he's mine. But the reason that we even got a test in the first place was the man that is his biological father, who she left and she was with, wanted a test. So she to this day is still with this man. And it's like, I could have crashed out. I could have been this really broken, this mental guy. I could have went on a killing spree. I could have did so much stuff. You know what I'm saying? I could have wrote a woman bashing book. You know what I'm saying? But that's just not the type of person I am. And at the end of the day, I was still expected to provide. I was still expected to make sure that my son was okay. Regardless, when I went, I was still put on child support. This other man wasn't put on child support. You know what I'm saying? So I was on child support. I was on child support for a year. And the crazy part, well, even crazier part was when I was put on child support, I had my son staying with me. So my son, like I'm literally picking my son up every day. I'm doing everything. I made her life easy. I made it so easy because of the way my mom raised me. I made her life so easy. The only thing that she had to do was to make sure my son went to sleep at night.
Pause. I wonder. I'm gonna clip this moment.
Yo.
So I'm gonna recollect this. You found out that your son was not biologically yours at the age of 14.
When he was 14, yes. And he's 17
All right.
now.
All right. So 3 years ago, for 14 years, you believed you had a biological son.
Yes.
Now, he's still your son because you treat him like that, and he always will be your son.
Right.
Absolutely.
But biologically, for 14 years, you believe that you birthed a son with your seed. All right. Then you find out that he's not your biological son because the biological father asked for a test.
Only because the father asked for a test.
Only because he asked for a test.
Right.
And then the mother of the son goes back to being in a relationship with the other guy, right?
Right.
And then she puts you on child support for a son who's not biologically yours. And the son was living with you?
Correct.
Yo,
Like,
make sense.
I just want everybody to hear this story. For everything you got to say about men this, men that, men da 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 da, I want you to hear this story, and I want you to open up your comment section, and I want you to make sure you have all of your ammunition loaded for women that you always have loaded for men who you claim are no good or whatever. Now, I'm not bashing your son's mother. What I'm saying is I want everybody who always got something to say about men. I want to give you equal opportunity in this moment. When I clip this, I want you in the comments and in the Facebook post and I want you, when this gets posted, I want you to feel free to comment. I am asking everyone, don't hold back. I will listen. The same energy you would give a man if the roles are reversed. Let me count the ways. Matter of fact, we're not gonna do that. That's a waste of time. My point is, when you see this clip, make sure you have equal opportunity because you always let men have it. So I want you to let all the women have it. And ladies, and men, I don't want you to comment nothing. I want the women to say it. That's what I want.
Yeah. Something like
I mean,
that saddens me, man.
Yeah. I mean, and like I said, I mean, I could have crashed out in so many ways. You know what I'm saying? Like her and I, we were living together, and when I say like I was picking my son up, I was daycare. You know what I'm saying? I saved us a bill because I'm the one that's picking him up from school. I'm the one that's dropping him off in the morning. I'm the one he knows, son, I'm gonna be here when you get home. I'm the first person you need to talk to when you get in the car. Like everything, like just everything in a bowl wrapped up. I am dad, regardless of what anybody else tell you. And the crazy part is, and this is how beautiful God works. I never understood for my son's entire life, I tell him we have a chant. I guess you can say it's a chant. But before we get off the phone or before we leave and depart from each other, I would ask him, who love you more than me? And he, for his entire life, have always said nobody. And when I first started that was when he first started talking. I never knew why I asked him that question, but I understood later on in life and now why I always ask him that question. So that's like I think there is, like I tell my son, there is nobody in this world that loves you more than me. Like I can stamp that for you, son. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know I was going to be put in this situation. I didn't know that she was really doing this to us. I didn't know that. But I'm still your father. I'm still providing. I'm still making a way. I'm still doing everything that I need to do because I love you more than anything in this world. And that's what I've always just pushed to my son. There is nobody in this world that love you more than me. And you can sit up here and say all you want. And she used to try. She used to be like, when he came out of me, I said, what? I'm telling you, I'm telling you, there is nobody in this world that love him more than me. So it was a very tough time, and it's still a sensitive situation. It's still a sensitive spot, but I have grown past it. I have grown to understand it. I have grown to understand that, God is just using me. And if I need to just tell my story, then I'm willing to do that. I am completely willing to do that because I love my son that much. I'm not going to sit up here and fake and say it hasn't affected me in any way. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to sit up here and act like that wasn't part of the book, because it is part of the book about what I call the ultimate betrayal, raising a son that is not biologically yours, and how the system is not set up for men. I mean, like you said, we can go on and on about this topic, but that's part of the book. How the system is not set up for men, and it's geared towards women, and how women are not held accountable for simple things like this. To me, there's nothing you can tell me that make me believe she didn't know that I wasn't the biological father. There's nothing in this. But to this day, I have never heard anybody hold her accountable. I haven't heard anybody, whether it's her mother, whether it's all of her cousins that knew. And like I tell people, that was the thing that bothered me the most. Mm-hmm. The thing that bothered me the most was there were so many people around us and around me. Nobody, you mean to tell me nobody wanted to tap
one person?
You mean to tell me everybody out here knew, you know what I'm saying? Everybody out here knew what was going on, and nobody wanted to just say, hey man, you might want to get your son checked out. You might want to get him tested. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people that were around us all the time. And it's just a crazy situation. And like I said, I could deep dive into this about all of the stuff that mentally went through my head and all of the stuff that I was put through. But I also have to get people to understand, like you said, these women, I have to get them to understand I'm still required to provide. I'm still required to this day. You know what I'm saying? To this day, I'm still required to make sure that I'm living my life to this standard, to still be a father, to this standard to still take care of myself. Not even including my mental, not even including the fact that I'm an African American, not even including the fact that I'm still required to produce. You know what I'm saying? I'm still held to a very high standard. And that's, to me, that's not acceptable. That's not acceptable and okay at all. Because I'm going to still push myself because that's just the type of person I am. And it's men out here that is still required to do this stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's still required to live life, and they're supposed to just live it. They're supposed to just be okay. Their mental is not supposed to be affected. They're not supposed to cry. They're not supposed to be emotional at times. And it's like, you want me to live in a world where all of this is going on, and I'm still supposed to maintain, I'm still supposed to produce, I'm still supposed to be a father, I'm still required by law, because I signed the birth certificate. It don't even matter that the biological father is in the house, but by law, I'm still required to make sure that my son is taken care of. So if she's lacking anything, this other guy gets a pass. But because I was a nice guy and because I signed the birth certificate, I'm still supposed to provide. And not only still supposed to provide, but I'm still supposed to mentally be okay.
Crazy. Yo, like, no, it's so crazy that we're talking about this, because I literally I had a conversation with my mom about this earlier. And I got a story to tell too when it comes to my father and all these kids he got floating around. They're all around. It's like 12 of us and counting that we don't know about, that we knowing about. And I had this conversation basically to, just to be brief, but just talking about how important, we don't realize that what these secrets do to individuals. Not only does it affect the child, but it also affects the parents affects your family dynamic in the long run. So say for instance, we say that, God forbid something happens to the child and the child may need some bone marrow or like a kidney or something like that. Then the father finds out that they're not even a fit because it's not their child. Now the mother is looking around like, oh, now the truth is out. And it's like, why do we have to have that? Like, that irks me so bad, to the point where I'm like, it doesn't, regardless of what happened that night, how it got to there, your embarrassment is not enough to hurt the people, your child for one, in the sense that they're going to find out eventually down the line that their father may not be who they think they are. And it's like, why are you so stubborn in the fact that you come to the point where you cannot be an adult about this and tell the truth about what you did? Growing up, kids they're going to figure out who their parents are anyway. They're going to figure out like the type of personality you have. They're going to make a decision based on who you are anyway. So why not just tell them who you are from the beginning, from the get-go, so that it doesn't hurt them in the long run? Because what's going to happen, the child is going to end up despising you anyway, because you lied to them for so long that they can't even respect you as an individual because of the lie that has been told. So for me, I've always, my mom always, she asked me the question. She was like, so are you embarrassed by how your father has done all these things in so many ways, like, having all these children and all these things? And I told her, I said, Mom, I said, I'm not embarrassed, because when I think about this, like, I'm glad that I'm able to know that this is the man that he was, and I can appreciate to know that this is I can appreciate to know that it just happened. He had a problem. He had like the mental, like I can think about the mental capacity of like how he was and where he was and all these things. Like, it just takes me to the place of like appreciating not appreciating, but really understanding humans. People have problems. Like they have demons. They have issues. So if I, as knowing that who I am emotionally, knowing who I am erratically and humanistically in so many ways, like I can't look at somebody else's struggle as less than or just evil. Like it is what it is. Call a spade what it is. And just now, how can we heal from this? How can we help them to get out of this situation? It happened. Now, what are we going to do to be better in the situation? How can we be the adult, the person or individual that we need to be in order for us to grow from this? Because at the end of the day, other people are getting hurt, other people are being mistreated. Like so many things are happening in the midst of all that, and I just like, man, like lies, it doesn't, it's not cute, it ain't cute, it's not cute. And we think that, little, even small tales of just your embarrassment as an individual, like it happened,
You know, you know,
it happened.
the irony about this is that when men would ask for DNA tests, they get shamed.
Yes, I was gonna say that too. I think they should ask for DNA tests for when you go to have birth. The man should demand, like it should be a law. Like I feel as though it should be a law to say, sir, would you like a DNA test? Like literally.
Yeah, I mean, I think something should be done in that area. I mean, I think it not only should be, I think it should just be a requirement.
Yeah.
I think when people give birth, I think, oh, let's go ahead and determine right now who the father is, and if the father is not who we think it is, then at least we know. You know what I'm saying? We can move to next steps. We can understand what the next steps need to be. You know what I'm saying? You can start what I would call the Maury process,
Right.
and do whatever you want. But the first thing is to really just find out, is this the man who fathered your child or not?
Yeah, because like, is it legal for me to sign? Like, it's like, I get it. It's like a contract. Like you're saying, like literally, it's like a contract. You sign this birth certificate saying that you do agree, but like at the hospital or something, like could this be illegal? Saying that I'm signing a contract that I don't even know that I'm giving, that I truly know that is the truth. Like, where are my rights?
Right. I mean, it's a very slippery slope, and it's scary to think that I can sit up here and be really signing my life away under a fraudulent thought. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, that's fraud. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was misled. I didn't know that he wasn't biologically mine. You know what I'm saying? I was so high off of, I am a father. This is what I wanted. And not only that, I got a son. You mean to tell me I get a junior? Like I get to build up a man the way that, the things that my father didn't do, or the things that my father missed. I get an opportunity to finally give this to somebody else, to finally have somebody else look up to me. And like I tell people, man, I could be a really battered, broken, mentally messed up guy. And I could have went all in and went crazy, and I could have been the next serial killer that just was out here killing people, but not understanding that it took 14 years, like 14 years of my life, my thinking. You're telling me that wasn't real? You get like to me, that's like, you're not only playing with me, but you playing with my son too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then to introduce this guy, and this guy has been in the picture the entire time. He's never left the picture. In 17 years, this guy has never left the picture, but he as well has never been held accountable. And it's just like, I was the only person that was held accountable. But I was the person that was done the most, in my opinion, I was the person that was done the most wrong. And I was the most genuine person in this situation. But if I would have crashed out, then I become the worst person on the world. You know what I'm saying? Like the worst person in the world because, oh, he just was broken. No, his mental could have been to that point. He could have been pushed over the edge. And because he was pushed over the edge, that's the thing that broke him. That's the thing that made him do all this crazy stuff. It's not the fact that he's just crazy, he's psycho, or he has these mental problems. No, that's not it at all. It was 14 plus years of somebody manipulating him, playing him, and pushing him to this point.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Kudos to you, man. Listen.
Yeah, man, that's powerful, man.
For real.
That
Kudos.
you overcame that.
For real.
Overcoming that is a powerful thing.
It is.
And so many people who have been through that, I'm sure you're not the only one. I have a friend who went through that, not to that extreme, but you know, he gave up going to college to play football because he thought he had a son to take care of, right? And I'm sorry, a daughter, but hold on. Anyway, a child. So, but the thing is that with so many men being in that position, I think, you know what? I think here's kind of like I guess you'll call it like a waving the white flag, right, on the gender war. If something like this doesn't cause men and women to say, all right, we got to do something about this, and we have to advocate for one another. And I'm a firm believer in this. I believe women need to start advocating for men, and men need to start advocating for women, instead of men advocating for men and women advocating for women. I think we need to go into an era or a season of our existence where women are advocating for men and men are advocating for women, and bridge this unity that has, you know, happened since Genesis 3, right? But real quick, because before we close out, I want to ask you a question. It was one more thing I wanted to get to about this book, right? Because I almost want to just close out on that because it's so powerful. But I feel like this is important, right? You said inside the book, we'll discover how to avoid the emotional traps that make men insecure and powerless. Can you speak to that just for a couple of minutes?
So, I mean, emotional traps like so, for instance, what we were talking about earlier with women knowing who they want as a potential husband and who they don't want, who they want to friend zone. The simp tax is what I was talking about. That's part of it. But emotionally, let's say this, I've been in a situation where I have liked a woman so much, just off of meeting her, just off of understanding her. I've liked her so much, and I've extended so much of me emotionally into a woman that I don't even know for sure if she likes me or not. You know what I'm saying? I've put in effort. I've tried to take her out on dates. I have, traveled. I got a situation where I like this woman so much that I literally spent over $1,000 just to go on a date with her. You get what I'm saying? Just to go on a date. She didn't stay in the same city as me. But I was willing to make it work because I just liked her that much. And it was like, man, like I didn't see the other side of her. I only saw what I wanted to see. And it cost me. It cost me money. It cost me time. It cost me emotional, emotional damage, because I'm thinking I actually had an opportunity or a shot with this woman. But in our reality, she didn't see me like that. She didn't see me like that at all. But after the date was over, it didn't matter that I had put in all this financial, I didn't put in all this money. I didn't spend all this time, and that my emotions were invested into this woman, that she was just she was just able to say, well, you're a cool guy. I just don't like you like that. Like that to me is a powerful thing. Like, she didn't acknowledge everything that I did just to go on a date. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still expected as a man to be emotionally and mentally stable, because it's easy for her to say, well, I didn't tell you to do all that in the first place. I didn't really need you to be putting in all that time or all that effort. But as a man, you're going into a situation thinking, well, I need to put my best foot forward. I need to try my best to get her to open that door, so she can then learn me or start learning the person I am. So the emotional side of that is really just a part of what I was talking about. It's just easy. It's easy for a woman to have that power if you give that power to her, and then for her to say, oh, I didn't ask for all that.
Yeah. Wow. That's so many men have been in that position and in that situation. And I just want to say, so many women are just going to end up single because they do not know how to accept and embrace genuinely good men.
I think part of it is I think they know. I think they know what they want. I think they're just not honest with themselves. I think women are intentional. I think women intentionally go out here and they know what ages they want to be outside. They know what ages they want to be married. They know what they want out of a man, when they want it out of a man. But they're going to do what they want to do when they want to do it. And that's okay. But just be honest. You know what I'm saying? Just be honest with these men that you're coming across. If you're not in the phase of life where you want to be married, then don't accept benefits from this guy. You know what I'm saying? Don't put his mental on the line, him thinking that he just putting in all this work and that he's going to get something out of this work that he's putting into later. Don't mess his mental or just play with his mind, his emotions. You know what I'm saying? Just because you're not sure, or just because you don't want to be truthful and say, I'm just not at that point in my life right now. I really just out here having fun. You know, I'm just out here having fun. I'm just working on myself right now. So even though you are bringing whatever you bring into the table, that's just not where I'm at.
I want to make a proposal to all the men and women in the world who are single. On April the 26th, 12 noon, West Coast time.
Pacific time, that is.
Yes. All men and women during the dating phase should go 50-50 on everything until you know for sure you are attracted to that man and you want to be with that man in a relationship. That's what I propose. No more paying for dates, fellas. No more buying nothing. No more trips. No more shopping. No more. Everything is 50-50 until that woman comes out and communicates. I can see myself spending the rest of my life with you, and I want you.
Ain't nobody trying to hear that.
All
I
I'm,
can tell you that now. Like, what?
all I'm saying is
50-50? They barely want them to take on a Cheesecake
All-
Factory. You
all
talking
I'm-
about some 50-50?
If every man listens to what I'm saying, they're going to be protecting themselves.
Yeah, I agree 1,000%. Sorry, ladies, y'all better get right. Y'all better be okay with this, because listen, this new generation wine and dine. You got to do this. You got to be. Look, every man ain't gonna have it all. They ain't gonna have it. Like that's a small, minute,
Yeah.
small percentage
Yeah.
of men that actually are in the higher range, and you don't even have that much money. So why are you even trying to tell somebody to make some money because you being lazy and don't want to make your own? Like, come on, man. Like this come on. Like let's be reasonable here. Let's be reasonable. And then these men that be having the money, every other woman gonna want them too. They got other problems because that money come with problems, and it definitely does. And you out here trying to, we talking about, what's the boy, Sharpton, whatever, that man. Like, people got money, they got wives, and they still having problems.
Oh, you talking about Shannon Sharp?
Yeah, like
I'm about to say Al Sharp.
that's what I was like, Sharpton, but yeah, you think like people with wives still having problems because these scoundrels, these hussies, that's what you want to call them, they out here trying to get the man because they got the money. But listen, it's cute for a little while, but are you really built for it? Like, are you really built for men like that? Like, it's a lot. You got a lot of people that you got to fight every day.
Yeah. I mean,
they want the same thing you want.
Lee, I completely agree. I mean, I laugh with a lot of my homeboys and say, you know, it's a lot of basketball wives that really don't have any businesses. Like they married into money, so they don't have any talents. But it's acceptable because we glorify being a basketball wife. We made a show about it. We made a show about love and hip hop and about all of these women that didn't work for their fortunes. They were given fortunes off the back of a man, and then when you pair that with statistics, the rate of divorces initiated by women are still 70 to 80% versus the rate of a man's divorce initiation is 20 to 30%. So you mean to tell me I can get with somebody, she can play like she loved me for years, divorce me, take half of what I built, take half of what I have worked for, take this stuff, get paid for the rest of her life. and she was the one that asked for the divorce. And then get put on the TV show, and we glorify it as a culture and say, oh, I want to be like these women who are literally just spending money. Because if you look at a show like that, you're never seeing these women building or growing or doing anything. Like, you're seeing them spend money. They out at cocktail hour, or they on a trip, or I just needed to go. We needed to take the whole crew to Puerto Rico or to Cabo San Lucas because we just wanted everybody to clear their heads. There's too much drama going on. But you like, well, if you don't have a job, where is this money coming from?
Exactly. Ain't work for nothing.
So yeah, I'm completely in agreement with you. I think society in a whole just it needs to change. It needs to fix itself, and people need to be more aware. And like I said, that's why I wrote the book, man, because a lot of guys don't know. They just think it's cool to be out here doing this stuff, but they don't understand. Well, you just pushing this snowball down the hill. You're not helping society. You making this woman think that this is okay. So it's a interesting world we live in. Definitely interesting world.
1,000%.
Yeah. 1,000.
So listen, listen. We're gonna wrap it up. Listen.
Ooh, this is good.
So
This
much
is
more to
really
talk
good.
about.
Yeah.
We might have to come back for a part 2,
For
man.
real.
My
For
goodness.
real.
Let me know. I'm available. You just let me know. Y'all will get time to read the book.
Yeah.
And after y'all read the book, if y'all want to do a part 2, man, I'm available. Just let me know.
Yeah. Listen, so let's jump into our part 4. What would you do scenarios? This is our closeout. This is our fun segment to where we just no wrong answers. All right, y'all ready? All right. What would you do? What would you do if after being married 5 years, you find out your spouse still has feelings for their ex?
Nigga.
Ooh.
There I go.
What would you do?
I mean, I'm going to start with communication. I think communication is going to have to be. We're going to have to have a talk. we're going to have to have a talk. We're going to have to get some ground rules, because I think it's people are going to love regardless, and it's hard to say if you get in a marriage with somebody, you love that person, but my grandmama and my family on my mom's side say there's always going to be that one person. They always going to have that one person that if they just going to give access to. So, I mean, my answer, hey, we're going to have to communicate. We're going to have to talk. Like, I'm going to have to see where your head at. We're going to have to just straddle this out. Like, we're going to have to work this out, because if this is going to work, we're going to have to get over this hurdle. So my first answer would be communicate.
Oh man, Z, she read over here. She like, Hey, what Kate Camp said? It ain't nothing that called that trick. Hey,
Listen, I'm like,
it ain't nothing that called that.
listen, after all we've been through, you tell me you still got feelings? Like, why are we here? Like, what are we doing? But in all honesty, for me, I think it will be, like you said, Anthony, more of a conversation. Like, why? Like, why are you still here? What about this individual makes you just want to like really be stuck on that? And of course, feelings are temporary. So we can talk about this temporary feeling that you have and really discuss, because at the end of the day, it's something that you're holding on to, that is not being discussed, and something that you're being not being received, or there's a void in the marriage. So that will be on my end as your spouse to figure out, what am I not bringing to the table that makes you want to go back or want to still focus on this individual? Because at the end of the day, that's basically what it is. Like, I know when you have a feeling about someone, it's because that feeling brought some type of joy to you, and you want to hold on. You're holding on to that joy that you felt. And if you're not getting it in your marriage, then there's a reason why. So, I that's all that I can really discuss. Like, why are we here? And let's dig a little deeper. Is this something that is really a desire that you're looking for, or something that I'm lacking as your spouse? And what can we do to go forward, to move forward from it?
Yeah.
What would you do?
Yeah, for me, what I would do versus what I should do. Yeah, we got to talk about it. But my mind goes to the psychology behind it. Because at the end of the day, I understand that the person is not really holding on to the feelings for the person. They're holding on to the trauma connected to the person that they perceive to be some form of good memories or whatever the case may be, but it's actually trauma. So for me, we would just have to have a conversation about it. Because I mean, 5 years into the marriage, we probably got kids, we probably got a family, we probably bought a house, it's like, nah, we ain't finna just divorce over no trauma, you know what I mean? But we got to talk about it, we got to work through it, you know what I mean? I'm gonna give you another year or two, figure it out. You not playing, but the thing is, it's going to be uncomfortable emotionally, but hey, you better figure it out before you get cut off. You better figure it out. No, but listen, Anthony, how can the people reach you, man? What's your social media? How can people book you? Give them the information before we log out of here.
Awesome. So my social media, man, I'm at I think on TikTok, I am at AD Lynch 828. On Instagram, I'm at Mr. MIH_. On Facebook, I'm at Anthony Oogie Lynch. It's a nickname. And right now, if you want to pick up the book, you can pick up the book from thelieswomentell.com. I'm going live on Amazon soon, probably here within the next week or two. But right now, if you want to pick up the book, The Lies Women Tell, just let me know. We got copies for you, I promise. So
yeah. Yes. Hold that book up one more time. That one more time. Let them see it for a couple seconds. Yeah. The Lies Women Tell.
That cover looks good.
That's a fire cover.
I
appreciate it.
Yeah, that's a fire cover.
Oh, I see the okay.
Yeah.
Let me cop one of those.
So listen,
books.
thelieswomentell.com. Make sure y'all go cop the book. Listen, I'm Artist Anderson. This is my wife, Zadoria. You can find us everywhere at tryforeverlove.com. All social media, Try Forever Love.
The number 4.
Right? The number 4, TRY, the number 4. Ever Love. And if you want to book us, go to tryforeverlove.com. Hit us up in the DMs. Find us on YouTube, the Forever Love Network. You can find me personally at Artist 7 Anderson.
You can find me at Zadoria Anderson.
It's not I Am Zadoria?
I don't know.
I don't remember neither.
You can find me on Facebook.
Yeah, we tagged everywhere.
Yeah.
You're fine. But listen, we appreciate y'all tuning in for another podcast episode. We love y'all. We'll see y'all soon. Yes. Catch y'all later.
Bye.
Watch how we flipping it. Watch how we living it. Watch how we winning it. Watch, yeah. Watch, yeah. Watch, yeah. Watch.